Hi there and welcome to the final part of my head building from start to finish. So I'm airbrushing in this part, which means the rest of the head is completely done, but I always airbrush a lot. You want to cover up everything that can get paint on it that you don't want to, which is mainly for me just the eyes and the teeth and tongue. I didn't actually do the tongue because I wanted to airbrush a little bit on it. Airbrush requires a thorough cleaning process, which I did before the video, and I always clean it before and after it's used. Start out with the lightest colour you'll be using. You want to basically get all of the darker tonal areas. I don't recommend using black for this on white, so use a nice brown. I will be using some black over the top in certain places in a moment, which you'll see. Make sure you vary your air pressure and the width of your strokes according to what you need. I've moved on to some black now, which just do a little bit of black around the edges of the eyes, as I've said before. Back of the tongue, so it blends a little bit into the mouth. All around the edges of the mouth, the lip, and that little triangle-y bit. This particular suit has freckles, as you can see, which look really adorable, so I've made sure to do them nice and strong. Only brush them out once it's dry. You don't want to brush it out while it's wet or you'll just smudge it, so make sure it's dry before you brush it. You can brush it out and then do another layer of paint if it's not dark enough, that's perfectly fine too. So that's essentially it for the airbrushing on this head. It's not too much because I'm not trying to blend markings, I'm just adding a little bit of depth to the character. So I've peeled off the tape. Obviously you can see that, and now I'm just going to do a little bit of painting to really darken up the areas where the fur meets the fleece or the eyelid. I just think it blends so much nicer. It's a lot nicer to have that line of black, just like a nice subtle line of black. I've painted over the freckles by hand. I don't think they were strong enough with the airbrush after I brushed them through. Just wait for it to dry, brush it through again, it'll be fine. I'm making eyelashes out of felt. Pretty straightforward, just I've cut one and then I've traced that and cut the other one. Simple black felt. Painting the edges of the ears where the fur meets the fleece. That's essential because, like I said before, I don't worry too much about the ears because I paint it in, and I think that blends perfectly fine. It's not something people pay close attention to, and it just looks, I think it looks alright as it is. It's not messy, it still looks neat. And again, you'll want to be very careful when gluing the eyelashes not to get glue seeping out onto anything you don't want it to, but at the same time you want to make sure you have enough glue to stick it down firmly. And that's the end. That is the entire head making from start to finish. That took a total of 22.5 hours of video footage. That does not include packing up afterwards, cleaning up or getting any of the equipment out to begin with. Hopefully you understand how long fursuit building takes knowing that. That's why the video is 8 parts long. So the fursuit head that was created is entirely DF fur and fleece. It includes a static jaw and follow me eyes. I airbrush on all my suits because I think it looks so much nicer. You can dry brush if you don't have an airbrush, which is basically a brush with a little bit of acrylic paint. You brush most of the paint off before you put it onto the fur, and then you brush it through as normal. You can find tutorials for that everywhere. So this is the resulting head. This is Onyx. She was a commission that I took purely to make this video. And I really think that's all I have to say. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'll do my best to answer you. I'll link you to tutorials that I used. But hopefully seeing this process from start to finish is something that you haven't seen yet, which is what I was aiming for. There are great tutorials out there, but I think people could do with more than just tutorials as well. So seeing this process from start to finish, sped up before your eyes with commentary from the artist is... I know my commentary sucks, but I tell you everything you need to know, which is the important part. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. You can find me through any of the links that I've posted in the description. That's DeviantArt, Fur Affinity, Tumblr, Facebook, and UK Fur, actually, I'm on there too. So, thank you very much for watching, if you've watched this, and I really, really hope it helps you, and if you do use anything that I've told you today, then I would really love it if you could show me what you've made.